What's up YouTube? My name is Uncle Smokey and this is Uncle Smokey Stock Trades. And before I start this video, I would like to say I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. So please take what I say with a grain of salt and do your own DD.
What's going on, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving to you. It is actually Wednesday evening, the night before Thanksgiving, but you're not going to see me again until probably Friday morning, maybe evening. I'm not too sure. But tonight, I want to come out with a very fast video talking about the PR that MetaMaterials just released regarding the S1 424B that we are still awaiting to come from FINRA and the SEC to land on the Edgar page. It's still not there yet. However, we're going to go ahead and go through this filing really quick right now together. Halifax, Nova Scotia, Access Wire, November 23rd, 2022. MetaMaterials Inc., the company, or Meta, registered trademark. NASDAQ, MMAT, FSC, MMAT, the developer of high-performance functional materials and nanocomposites, today announced that its board of directors has approved the distribution of the holders of Meta's Series A non-voting preferred stock, Series A preferred stock, which is currently traded over the counter or OTC under the symbol MMTLP. There you go. Of 100% of the common stock of Meta's wholly owned subsidiary, NextBridge Hydrocarbons Inc., NextBridge, in accordance with the distribution agreement between Meta and NextBridge. Upon completion of the distribution, NextBridge will be an independent public reporting company, but the NextBridge common stock is not and will not be publicly traded and will not be eligible for electronic transfer through the Depository Trust Company, DTCC, book entry system, or any other established clearing corporation. So in that very first paragraph, it states that the company has gone ahead and approved it. Everything's A-OK. They're good with the terms. NextBridge good with the terms. Everything's ready to spin out. Upon completion, that NextBridge will be a publicly reported company, which means because that it is a publicly held company by the Series A preferred holders, everybody who transfers over to NextBridge, you guys hold the rights to be able to know what's going on with the company's financials. So they got to report all of that stuff. However, you will have zero voting rights. You'll be able to do absolutely nothing with that stock until they deem the value to it. Once that happens, okay, so once this all clears over, you have no ability to do anything, but at the same exact time, nobody can do anything. Nobody can buy it, nobody can sell it, nobody can short it, nobody can do anything. It's done. There is no market for it once this happens, all right? So pay close attention to the dates that we're looking at and pay close attention to the things that I'm getting ready to say, because I do think there's a lot loaded into this filing. So this very next paragraph is where it really gets down to the nitty-gritty, the stuff that everybody really wants to know. So let's go ahead and go through that a little bit. Now, this is where you really need to pay attention, okay? So, subject to certain conditions, including, among others, completion of all necessary actions and filings with regard to applicable state security or blue sky laws and final FINRA approval, for which there can be no assurances that such approval will be given. All right, so right there in that first sentence, it's almost done. It tells you right there that this isn't done yet. This is still actually subject to change slightly. These dates have not yet been approved. So what dates are we talking about? Each holder of Series A preferred stock as of 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on December 12, 2022, the record date for the distribution, will be entitled to receive 1 share of NextBridge common stock for every 1 share of Series A preferred stock held as of the record date. So again, FINRA has to still yet approve these dates. Once they've approved the dates, then this will actually go into finalization. If they do not approve these dates, if they take way too long for this to happen, then MetaMaterials NextBridge is going to have to revise this again and change those dates. So that's basically all we're waiting for right now. FINRA still needs to approve the dates. So let's kind of not get too crazy. We don't want to get too hyped up. Main reason being, this isn't done yet. I want to see the 424B filed on the Edgar page. This page right here that we have not yet seen. Still, no 424B right here. Nothing. That's what we need to see. Once that happens, then we'll be in the clear. We'll be A-OK, and we won't have to worry about it. So, to carry on beyond that, the shares of NextBridge common stock will be distributed on December 14th, 2022 after the close of trading markets, at which time all of the shares of Series A preferred stock will be automatically canceled. All of the holders of such Series A preferred stock will cease to have any rights with respect to such shares, and the shares of Series A preferred stock MMTLP will no longer be tradable on the OTC market. So what does this mean? This means that this will continue to trade even after December 12th. They will be able to trade this on the OTCs until December 14th. So you need to be well aware of what's about to happen. And we're going to go over that here in just a few minutes. All right, so you must hold your stock through December 12th. You've got to be owning the stock. If you don't own it by then, you don't get your NextBridge shares. Take that for what it's worth, okay? I can't tell you whether to buy, sell, hold. I can't tell you if trading it now or later is going to do anything. Here's the way I look at it. If you're an OG holder that's been looking to move over to NextBridge anyway, this is what you've been wanting to do this whole time anyhow, and you're still convicted in this, and this is all that you've thought about, and this is how you want to go. Don't do anything. Just hold your shares. And we're going to get into that here in a minute. But if it's something that you're not looking forward to moving into, if you don't want to go into NextBridge, if this is something that you're just looking to be done with, you said, finally, the end is here, we're over, I just want to get rid of this for max value, then you have until December 12th to sell your shares. Don't wait. After 4 p.m., they're yours, okay? And we're going to get to that here in just a minute. All right, so these shares of NextBridge common stock will be distributed on December 14th. That's T2. That's a T2 settlement. So that means that if you hold it on the record date, you'll have 2 days for settlement before the distribution will happen. This is going to be an automatic thing. After the close of trading markets, at which time all of the shares of Series A preferred stock will be automatically canceled. The holders of such Series A preferred stock will cease to have any rights with respect to such shares, and these shares of Series A preferred stock MMTLP will no longer be tradable on the OTC market. So that means this will trade until end of business December 14th, 2022. Now let's carry on. Holders of Series A preferred stock are not required to take any action in connection with the distribution and are not required to make payment or surrender exchange their shares of Series A preferred stock in order to receive shares of NextBridge common stock. The shares of NextBridge common stock will be issued to the accounts of each holder Series A preferred stock as follows. So this is stating that you are not required to do anything. There's nothing you need to do as a holder. This will happen automatically. Registered stockholders. So if you've already got your shares registered to the ASC, then you don't have to worry really about anything at all. They're going to take care of everything for you. The ASD basically just takes care of the entire process. If the shares of the Series A preferred stock are owned directly through Meta's transfer agent, American Stock Transfer and Trust Company, LLC, AST, such holder is registered stockholder. In this case, the distribution agent, which is also AST, will credit the whole number of shares of NextBridge common stock to receive distribution to such record stockholders by directly registering such shares in book entry form in the new AST account in the name of such record stockholder. Registration in book entry form refers to a method of recording share ownership where no physical stock certificates are issued to stockholders, as is the case in the distribution. Registered stockholders will be able to access information regarding their book entry account holding NextBridge common stock in the transfer agent. Commencing on or shortly after the distribution date, the transfer agent will mail an account statement to each registered stockholder that indicates the number of whole shares of NextBridge common stock they have been registered in book entry form in their name. All right, so again, whole paragraph, they do everything for you. Don't worry about the mail you statement. Good on you, okay? Now, for all of us retail guys that are owning it and gals owning it on Webull and Robinhoods and the 212s and everything else. Well, unfortunately for the 212s, you guys are, I hear you guys are on the like screwed end of everything. I think you have no choice. Like you can't do anything, right? So, let's see here. Street name or beneficial stockholders. Most Meta stockholders own their shares of Series A preferred stock beneficially through a bank, broker, or other nominee. In these cases, the bank, broker, or other nominee holds the shares in street name. We've talked about street name a bunch of times on the channel. And records such ownership on its books. If a holder owns shares of the Series A preferred stock through a bank, broker, or other nominee, the bank, broker, or other nominee will credit the holder's account with the whole shares of NextBridge common stock received in the distribution on or shortly after the distribution date. However, shares of NextBridge common stock will not be eligible for electronic trading through the DTC or any other established clearing corporation. Therefore, Meta encourages these holders to contact their bank, broker, or other nominee to instruct such bank, broker, or other nominee to transfer their shares of Series A preferred stock to Meta's transfer agent on or prior, which means before, to the record date, okay? So on or before the record date. They're suggesting if you want to go ahead and switch over, you need to, at this point, contact your broker and have them contact the ASD, and they need to make the transfer. They need to make that happen, so that way it can all be recorded in your name. This just makes the whole process much cleaner and better. I don't know if it does anything for, you know, the end result of what we've been looking at this as, but they are suggesting, MetaMaterials is suggesting, if you're planning on going to the NextBridge Holdings, contact your broker and have them do the transfer, or at least make sure they're going to do it for you no matter what. Carrying on, holders of the Series A preferred stock who sell their shares on or before the record date will not be entitled to receive the shares of NextBridge common stock in the distribution in respect of such shares of Series A preferred stock sold. So, if you sold your shares, OG shares, synthetic shares, I don't give a shit what kind of shares you've got, if you sell them between now and then, all right, and you don't hold them on the date of record, you don't get them. If you don't sell them, if you keep holding them, it doesn't matter how many you have, however many shares you have, so say you have 10 and you sold 5, that means you get 5 shares of NextBridge, not 10. You get 5 because that's how many shares you hold on the date of record. 5. It's easy math, okay? So 10 minus 5 is 5. If you have 10, you sell 5, you have 5. 5 goes over to NextBridge, not 10, okay? Not 0, 5. All right, so holders of the Series A, okay, all right, we did that. Holders of Series A preferred stock who sell their shares after the record date. Okay, so we were talking about this up there in the beginning. If you sell your shares after the record date, but before the distribution date, so there's that sweet spot in there, right? There's that spot where it can continue to go, right? Even though it's after the record date and at the before the distribution date, the OTC is not being required to shut it down until the distribution date. Holders of the Series A preferred stock who sell their shares after the record date but before the distribution date will be required to transfer the shares of NextBridge common stock received in the distribution to the subsequent purchaser of Series A preferred stock. So, if you were to sell your shares of NextBridge after the record date, once this all goes through, you're going to get your shares, and they're probably going to say, okay, your shares now go to this person. There will be a record of it, I guess. I don't know how that works. But according to what we're seeing here, even if you were to sell afterwards, because you're going to have the ability to, you're not going to get those shares. No double dipping. You're not going to be able to register or get the shares because it went on a record and then sell them off and still get shares. Basically, they're fail-safing themselves. That's what it is. They're fail-safing themselves so that way nobody double dips. You can't have them both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You're not going to be able to sell into the record or hold into the record date and sell afterwards and still think you're going to get your stuff. Not happening. They're guaranteeing it. So anyway, a registration statement on Form S1 relating to the shares subject to the distribution has been filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission and became effective on November 18th, 2022. The registration statement and any subsequent filings, including the final prospectus, will be available for free on the SEC's website at sec.gov. Holders of the Series A preferred stock are urged to consult with their tax advisors with respect to the U.S. federal, state, and local foreign tax consequences as applicable of the distribution of NextBridge common stock for additional information regarding the distribution of state impacts and the manner in which holds anyway, you don't really need to know about the rest of this. Is all just legit legalized mumbo jumbo. Of course, you've got your finalized stuff. Rob Stone, Vice President of Corporate Development and Communications, MetaMaterials Inc. Emails protected. Mark Kamenowski, Senior Vice President of Integris Communications. Emails protected. Go ahead and feel free if you need to reach out to these guys. They're always happy to answer their questions as best as they can. Of course, they're they do what they can do, so they're very bombarded people. All right, so that's what I got for this video. I'm going to try and do another video tomorrow. It's a little bit of a theory video, my theory on this whole thing. So that's what I'm shooting for tomorrow. Be on the lookout for it. Until then, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families. Get the hell out of here. Why are you watching me at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night? Go away. Get out of here. Goodbye. Peace. Deuces.